Welcome back to the Quarterly Call. All content is for informational purposes and is not investment advice. Please consult with an investment professional. Today we're taking a look at Adobe's Q3 fiscal year 2025 performance. And this is more than just the usual check-in, isn't it? We're exploring how a giant like Adobe is, well, really setting the pace in this fast-moving digital world, especially with these huge shifts driven by AI.
That's right. And a crucial takeaway from their recent disclosures is honestly an exceptionally strong quarter for Adobe. Really strong. We're seeing double-digit growth, significant advancements, and it really feels like it's all propelled by this intelligent integration of AI across, well, pretty much their entire product portfolio. It paints a picture of a company that's not just reacting, but actively shaping what creativity and digital experiences look like going forward.
So our mission with this conversation today is to unpack the most impactful insights from Adobe's Q3 2025 period. We'll focus on understanding, the nuanced ways AI is actually being integrated, what new products are really emerging, the tangible financial impact, of course, and maybe most importantly, what does all this mean for you, our listener? Whether you're a creative pro, a marketing team member, or, just an everyday user, we want to connect the dots, understand the why behind their recent success, and get a clearer view of their strategy.
Sounds good. Let's jump in.
Okay, let's kick things off with the big picture. The overall financial snapshot for Adobe in Q3 2025. The headline figures look remarkably solid. Record revenue of $5.99 billion.
Almost $6 billion, yeah.
Which is a robust 10% year-over-year growth. And on the profit side, non-GAAP earnings per share came in at $5.31. That's a 14% year-over-year jump. These aren't just, good numbers. They really speak to consistent growth, strong profitability, especially in this kind of dynamic market.
Yeah. Absolutely. And what's particularly striking here is that these numbers, they signify more than just, let's say, typical incremental growth.
Yeah.
They genuinely reflect a strategic reorientation, a real pivot, you could say. Adobe's CEO characterized AI not just as a technology shift, but as a tectonic technology shift.
Tectonic, yeah. That's a strong word.
It is, and he called it the biggest opportunity for Adobe in decades. When you use a term like tectonic, it implies something monumental, foundational, right? Like the continents shifting. Yeah. It suggests this isn't just about adding new features, it's a deep reshaping of how they operate, innovate, create value. It signals an opportunity of, well, immense scale.
It could redefine their whole trajectory for years to come, making AI the sort of new OS for creativity digital experience.
Yes, that's the sense you get.
Okay, so with that huge opportunity in mind, let's unpack Adobe's AI strategy. It seems like a pretty thoughtful, two-pronged approach. First, they're really focused on infusing AI across their existing, what they call category-leading applications.
The flagships.
Right, your Photoshop, Illustrator, Premiere Pro, the tools many people already use daily. Second, they're simultaneously dedicated to delivering, quote, innovative new AI-first products. This dual strategy, it seems really designed to maximize value for all sorts of different users, doesn't it? From individuals to huge companies.
It does. And the rationale behind it is quite smart, I think. The infusion approach, it enhances the workflows for current users, makes their existing tools more powerful, stickier, that deepens loyalty, keeps professionals relying on Adobe.
Sure, makes sense. But
at the same time, the AI-first products, they're designed to capture entirely new markets, new user behaviors, driving innovation into maybe untapped areas. So this dual focus, it positions Adobe not as a follower reacting to AI, but really as a leader trying to proactively shape it.
Right, driving the future rather than just keeping up.
Precisely.
And this isn't just talk, is it? They're already seeing some pretty impressive early monetization success. Key AI-related financial milestones really highlight this. Their AI-influenced annual recurring revenue, ARR, that's the predictable revenue they expect each year. It's now soared past $5 billion, which is a huge jump from, just over $3.5 billion at the end of fiscal 2024.
Yeah, a significant leap in less than a year.
And maybe even more remarkably, the ARR from their completely new AI-first products, things like Firefly, Acrobat AI Assistant, Gen Studio for performance marketing, that ARR has already surpassed their full-year target of over $250 million.
Ahead of schedule. By quite a bit, actually.
That's pretty telling, isn't it?
It's very illuminating. That rapid growth in ARR from the AI-first products, blowing past targets early, it's a strong indicator of real market demand and successful monetization. This isn't just, an upsell on existing features. It feels like users are actually paying for transformation.
Paying for transformation, I like that. Seeing real value.
Exactly. Adobe seems to have shifted AI from maybe a nice to have to a must have for many. Customers are seeing immediate, tangible ROI. And the fact that the AI influenced ARR is over $5 billion. That just underscores how deeply AI is embedding itself across the entire business.
Right? It's not just a niche thing anymore.
Not at all. It's becoming central to their core value. It's a clear signal of, sustained value creation. AI isn't just improving features, it's fundamentally boosting the commercial viability of their whole ecosystem.
Okay, let's transition now into the digital media segment. This is really where creativity and productivity are getting supercharged by AI. In Q3, digital media revenue hit $4.46 billion. That's an 11% year-over-year growth. And the ending ARR for digital media reached $18.59 billion, up 11.7% year-over-year.
Strong numbers across the board there.
Yeah, and it seems abundantly clear from these numbers that AI is playing a huge role, maybe even the primary role, in driving this growth.
Indeed. The growth in digital media is definitely being profoundly shaped by AI, especially when you look at how it's serving business professionals and just everyday consumers. That customer group had a very strong quarter, largely thanks to the introduction of the Acrobat AI assistant.
Right, that's the conversational piece in PDFs.
Exactly. It's not just a simple feature ad. It's a new conversational interface that's fundamentally changing how customers interact with and, frankly, consume PDFs. The vision seems to be about unlocking increased comprehension across trillions of PDFs globally, making information more accessible, more actionable, using generative AI.
Like the AI behind ChatGPT, but inside your documents.
Pretty much. And the accelerated use they're seeing across desktop, web, mobile, it really highlights its immediate impact and utility. People are finding it useful right away.
A crucial insight here seems to be how Adobe is really pushing this vision to fundamentally reshape how knowledge is discovered, synthesized, and shared.
Yes, through these generative AI and conversational experiences, they're making a strong point that the PDF, this document format we've used for decades.
Yeah, it's pretty static usually.
Right. But it's evolving, becoming a first-of-its-kind destination, not just for reading, but for getting rapid insights, even for creating content directly within that document flow, making knowledge work way more efficient.
And they're taking this vision even further with something called Acrobat Studio. Tell us more about that. It sounds pretty exciting.
It does. Acrobat Studio is a new premium offering. It combines the power of Acrobat with Adobe Express, their sort of easier content creation tool, and it introduces something genuinely innovative called PDF Spaces.
PDF Spaces.
Okay. Think of PDF Spaces as a new foundation for content consumption and creation. It basically transforms what used to be static collections of files, web pages, documents, into dynamic, collaborative knowledge hubs. So users can easily organize all their materials, discover insights much faster with that integrated AI assistant we mentioned, and even leverage AI to transform or remix PDF content into new formats, presentations, emails, summaries, you name it.
Wow, okay. That sounds powerful.
And the most exciting part, maybe, is its agentic capabilities.
Agentic, like having AI agents working for you.
Exactly. These aren't just smart buttons. They're intelligent agents that can understand your intent, reason through complex tasks, even make recommendations. They act like your personal AI assistant inside the software.
So you can tell an agent, summarize these 10 reports for me.
Precisely. Or extract all the key dates and deadlines from this project plan. Imagine assigning tasks to an agent for your documents. This has huge implications for knowledge sharing, collaboration, overall efficiency within teams, within organizations. And the strong early reception and encouraging adoption they're reporting really validates that there's a strong market demand for these kinds of, transformative tools. People want this.
Makes sense. Now, beyond Acrobat Studio, Adobe Express itself is also showing tremendous momentum, right? The monthly active users of Acrobat and Express combined grew about 25% year over year.
That's significant user growth.
Yeah. And in Q3 alone, over 14,000 organizations added Express. That's a four-fold increase compared to the same quarter last year. Plus, Express usage within Acrobat nearly doubled, just quarter over quarter.
So people using Acrobat are starting to use Express more, too. That integration is working.
Seems like it. They've also added new integrations, LinkedIn, Miro, even the Premier League, making it more embedded in professional workflows. And there's that big partnership with the state of California, giving high school and college students access to Express, Acrobat AI Assistant, and Firefly, investing in the next generation.
That example of Dentsu, the global marketing company with, 68,000 employees, that really brings it to life. Well, Dentsu has made Express a core part of its operations. This partnership perfectly illustrates how Express helps large organizations scale their content creation effectively while rigorously maintaining brand consistency and quality across these huge global teams. That's always the challenge, right? Scale versus control.
Absolutely.
Express acts as this crucial bridge. It lets assets created in, say, Creative Cloud be seamlessly adapted and remixed by marketers, people who aren't necessarily designers. It democratizes content creation without sacrificing that all-important brand integrity.
Okay, yeah. That makes a lot of sense for big companies.
And that student access initiative in California, that's not just, a nice gesture. It's about cultivating the next generation of creative and business talent, making sure they're equipped with these AI-powered tools right from the start. That's a smart long-term play.
Definitely planting seeds for the future there. Okay, let's shift focus now to creative professionals and individual creators. It sounds like this was another exceptionally strong quarter for the creative side of the business, too.
It was. And the overarching sentiment from Adobe here is that creativity has never been more important. Which feels right, doesn't it, with the explosion of digital content?
It really does.
Right.
So Adobe's strategy here seems dual-faceted again, making creativity more accessible, more intelligent, and more impactful. They're doing this by deeply integrating AI into the flagships, Photoshop, Illustrator, etc., and also by expanding with new apps like Firefly.
Exactly. And a key insight here is how this AI infusion in those main apps like Photoshop, Premiere Pro, Illustrator, it works on multiple levels. For new users, it kind of lowers the barrier to entry, makes complex tasks more intuitive, speeds up their onboarding. That's critical for attracting what Adobe calls next-gen creators.
Right, the younger generation, maybe people who found the tools intimidating before.
Precisely. And then for existing users, it acts as this powerful enhancer, makes them significantly more productive by automating tedious tasks, enabling new creative possibilities that maybe weren't feasible before. So the whole user base, from novices to veterans, benefits directly from AI.
And we're seeing some really specific, impactful examples of this innovation, aren't we? In Photoshop, there's this new harmonized feature. It automatically adjusts lighting, colors, shadows for composited objects, makes blending things together seamless. Apparently, it's already one of the most used features.
That sounds incredibly useful. Compositing is always tricky.
Yeah. And then there's Project Turntable in Illustrator. It lets users rotate 2D artwork to see it from different angles. Eliminates a really time-consuming manual task that could take hours before.
Wow. Turning 2D into sort of pseudo 3D on the fly.
Exactly. And these innovations, they directly translate to measurable value for customers. That's the key phrase they used.
Right. It's not just cool tech for tech's sake.
No. By cutting production times dramatically, increasing content output, raising the overall quality, these AI features are driving strong migration to the Creative Cloud Pro offer.
Ah, so it's pushing people towards the higher tier subscription because the value is there.
Seems like it. It makes professionals more efficient, their output more polished. That directly impacts their bottom line, lets them take on more work.
That makes perfect sense.
Now, beyond the core apps, the Firefly app itself is making significant waves too. It's described as a powerful yet accessible AI production studio, designed to help creators generate original content faster than ever. In Q3 alone, they added new capabilities like avatar generation and even sound effects generation, continuously expanding its toolkit.
So it's becoming a broader creative AI hub.
Yeah, and the core insight here seems to be about choice, but without friction.
Firefly's sophisticated approach to generative AI models, it not only gives you access to Adobe's own commercially safe models, which is vital for enterprises worried about IP,
Crucial point, yeah?
but it also integrates a growing list of leading third-party models. We're talking big names: Google's Imagen, Veo, Gemini Flash 2.5, OpenAI's GPT Image, Flux, Runway, Ideogram, Pika, Ray 2.
Wow, that's quite a list.
It is. This multi-model approach offers users incredible choice and flexibility, lets them pick the right aesthetic or capability for the job without any workflow friction, without having to jump between different websites or apps.
So Firefly becomes like the Switzerland of generative AI, a neutral ground.
Kind of. A go-to destination for diverse content generation needs, all in one place. That's the idea.
And Firefly isn't just for individuals, right? There are Firefly services for enterprises.
Correct. Firefly services are delivering incredibly powerful automated content production capabilities to businesses of all sizes. These are more like agentic services. They leverage custom models to automate and personalize image, video, 3D content for marketing campaigns, ad creation, post-production video, all while maintaining that crucial brand consistency.
Automating the content factory, essentially.
Pretty much. And they've even introduced a no-code interface, extending the power of Firefly services to studio and design teams who might not be developers.
Making it more accessible.
Exactly. And the growth metrics are impressive. Consumption of Firefly services grew 32% quarter over quarter. Custom models grew even faster, 68% quarter over quarter.
Wow. That reflects intense demand for scalable, on-brand content automation.
Absolutely. Enterprises need this.
Looking at the broader creative growth metrics then. Continued new user acquisition for Creative Cloud, particularly strong in emerging markets like India, 50% year-over-year growth in ending units there.
50% in India, that's huge.
It is. The Firefly mobile app has millions of downloads since launch. Its monthly active users grew 30% quarter over quarter. It's attracting those next-gen creators too. First-time Adobe subscribers coming via the Firefly app grew 20% quarter over quarter.
So Firefly is acting as an entry point to the Adobe ecosystem for new users.
It seems that way. And overall generative AI consumption is just accelerating rapidly. 29 billion generations total. Video generations growing nearly 40% quarter over quarter.
29 billion, that's staggering.
It really is.
These metrics, they really highlight this powerful trend, the democratization of creativity, by making these sophisticated AI tools accessible and integrated. Adobe isn't just attracting a new wave of creators, but also empowering existing professionals.
Right.
And that strategic integration of Firefly with both Adobe's own models and those third-party ones, it's clearly accelerating generative AI usage, which, in turn, is driving more adoption and engagement with the whole Creative Cloud ecosystem.
It's like a virtuous cycle. Innovation fuels usage, usage fuels adoption.
Exactly. A virtuous cycle of innovation and growth, reaching a global audience that maybe, just maybe, found these complex creative tools a bit intimidating before.
Okay, let's pivot now to the digital experience segment. This is where marketing and customer engagement are being reinvented by AI. In Q3, digital experience revenue was $1.48 billion. Subscription revenue, $1.37 billion, up 11% year over year. And Adobe proudly notes they are the largest software provider in our category, signaling their, dominant position.
They definitely hold a strong position there. And it's clear that AI is dramatically transforming consumer behavior and therefore how brands need to engage.
Yeah, they mentioned brand discovery is shifting from primarily search to include generative engine optimization.
Meaning people are finding products, services through conversational AI platforms, not just typing keywords into Google anymore.
Which leads to this concept that AI becomes the new UI. Interactions guided by conversations, not menu clicks.
It fundamentally changes the customer journey, doesn't it? From clicks to conversations.
It really does.
And the urgency this shift creates for brands is just undeniable. They absolutely must deliver hyper-personalized, immersive experiences on owned channels, their own websites, their own apps, if they want to drive deep engagement and foster loyalty.
Because the discovery phase is changing so much.
Exactly. And the data from the Adobe Digital Index is pretty stark. LLM traffic grew 4,700% year over year in July 2025.
4,700% for LLMs, large language models.
Yes, the tech behind ChatGPT and others. This isn't just a trend, it's an explosion. So brands now face this critical need to win visibility through LLMs. They have to provide machine-readable content, real-time updates, ensure they show up and are relevant in these new AI-driven discovery environments.
It's like SEO, but for conversational AI. A whole new discipline almost.
It really is. It's a complete reevaluation of how brand content is structured and delivered, focusing on conversational, context-aware interaction.
So Adobe's response to this massive shift is this integrated customer experience platform, offering automation, agility, scale. It seems to be made up of GenStudio for the content supply chain, the Adobe Experience Platform, AEP, and its apps for customer engagement and loyalty.
Right.
And Adobe Experience Manager, AEM, now boosted with something called LLM Optimizer, specifically for that brand visibility piece in the new AI search world.
That's the package. And this end-to-end platform, it's really designed to help businesses orchestrate these highly personalized experiences. It achieves this by fusing creativity, marketing, and agentic AI into one cohesive solution.
Fusing those three things together.
Yeah, and in an era of information overload, fragmented customer journeys, an integrated approach like this, it's not just beneficial, it's becoming absolutely essential.
You can't manage it all in silos anymore.
Exactly. It's about creating a seamless, intelligent journey from that initial LLM discovery maybe, right through to lasting loyalty, all powered by a single comprehensive system. That's the goal.
Okay, delving deeper into that platform then. Gen Studio, positioned as the most comprehensive content supply chain solution. In Q3, new capabilities rolled out within Gen Studio for performance marketing, specifically accelerating video and display ad campaign creation.
Using those Firefly video models we talked about earlier?
Exactly, and integrating directly with the big ad platforms, Amazon Ads, Google Campaign Manager 360, LinkedIn, Meta, enabling seamless workflows from creation right to deployment.
So Gen Studio empowers enterprises to drive content velocity with AI, get more content out faster.
Right, while simultaneously ensuring brand alignment across huge global teams, just like we saw with the Dentsu example earlier.
That combination speed and consistency, it represents a massive opportunity in this era of, the explosion of content creation and automation.
Brands just need so much content now, personalized for every channel.
Precisely. It's about empowering them to meet that insatiable demand efficiently and at scale, making sure every piece of content speaks with one brand voice.
Then there's the Adobe Experience Platform, AEP. That's being innovated with built-in agentic functionality.
More agents.
More agents, designed to empower marketers with even greater agility and efficiency. Introducing these intelligent agents that can understand intent, reason, recommend actions across content, data, customer journeys.
Acting like proactive assistants for the marketing team.
Yeah. And the launch of the first phase of AEP Agent Orchestrator in Q3 seems like a big step.
Allowing businesses to build, manage, orchestrate AI agents from Adobe and third parties.
Okay, so it's an open system too.
Seems so. And the examples are practical. A data insights agent that can answer complex questions about customer behavior. A product support agent guiding users through troubleshooting. These agents effectively democratize access to sophisticated data expertise, making it far more accessible, more actionable for marketers who maybe don't have a data science background.
Putting power tools directly into their hands.
Exactly. Accelerating campaigns, making things faster.
And tying into this, we have the Adobe LLM Optimizer, presented as a powerful agentic app specifically to improve brand visibility, drive acquisition, and maintain engagement across LLM platforms.
So tackling that SEO for AI problem directly.
Exactly. It's in early access now, so customers are testing it.
And that anecdote about Adobe using it internally is pretty telling, isn't it?
It really is. They noticed users were asking LLM's ChatGPT, Perplexity, how to do things with PDFs.
Instead of searching Adobe's help pages, maybe.
Right. So Adobe's internal team realized they needed to make their content discoverable through these new conversational channels. By using the LLM Optimizer, they actually boosted Acrobat's brand visibility in those generative AI search results, ensured their content was found where users were now looking.
Fascinating. So they're eating their own dog food, so to speak.
They are, and it directly addresses this beginning of new marketing needs like LLM optimization and LLM advertising, helping brands shape how they show up in results.
It's about adapting to where consumers are now seeking information. That's a fundamental marketing shift, a massive opportunity for Adobe to help companies deal with this new reality.
Okay, looking at the digital experience growth drivers overall, the metrics seem pretty compelling. Strong demand for AEP and its native apps Q3 subscription revenue up over 40% year over year.
40% growth is very strong.
Yeah. The AEP AI assistant is seeing significant adoption to 70% of eligible AEP customers are already using it. We're also seeing strong growth, 60% year over year, in those cross-cloud deals, the One Adobe deals, reflecting adoption of the whole integrated platform.
Customers buying more pieces of the puzzle together.
Exactly. And impressively, over 40% of their top 50 enterprise accounts have doubled their ARR spend since fiscal 2023.
Doubled. That signals deep customer engagement and significant expansion within existing accounts. They're finding more value, spending more money.
It really underscores that value proposition of personalization at scale that the integrated platform delivers.
And the fact that industry analysts, Forrester Wave, IDC MarketScapes, recognize Adobe as a leader in AI-enabled marketing. That just validates their strategy and tech leadership. It's clear their comprehensive AI-driven approach is resonating deeply with large enterprises who really need these tools to navigate this new AI-powered customer journey.
Okay, let's zoom back out then. Talk about the overall financial strength and the future outlook. Just reaffirming Q3 performance.
Yeah.
Revenue, $5.99 billion, 11% growth reported, 10% in constant currency. Non-GAAP EPS, $5.31, up 14%, clearly exceeding targets. driving demand by infusing AI across the board.
And the powerful insight, again, is how those growth drivers from the AI-first products, Firefly, Acrobat AI Assistant, Gen Studio for performance marketing, have already blown past their year-end target. That's not just a win, it signifies real market acceptance, successful monetization of brand new stuff.
Yeah, validation.
And that AI-influenced ARR surpassing $5 billion really indicates a fundamental shift in the business model. AI isn't just supplementary anymore, it's a core driver of value across the whole company.
Their strategic commitment is clearly paying off,
In a big way.
and their operating and cash flow highlights look equally impressive. Q3 saw record cash flows from operations of $2.2 billion. Remaining performance obligations, RPO that contracted future revenues, stood at $20.44 billion, up a robust 13% year over year.
Strong cash flow, growing RPO, those are very positive signs. It signals robust customer demand, excellent future revenue visibility. Customers are committing to long-term deals, which builds a strong foundation for future growth.
Makes sense.
And that share repurchase activity, $2.5 billion in Q3, still $8.4 billion left from a $25 billion authorization that signals strong confidence from management in the company's long-term value.
Right.
They're investing heavily in their own stock.
Right. Okay, so given this strong momentum, Adobe actually raised its financial targets for Q4 FY 2025. They're now targeting total revenue between $6.075 billion and $6.125 billion.
Yeah.
Digital media segment, $4.53 billion to $4.56 billion. Digital experience segment, $1.4905 billion to $1.515 billion. And non-GAAP EPS targeted between $5.35 and $5.40.
Raising guidance across the board for Q4.
Yeah. And looking at the full year FY 2025, those targets are also raised. Total revenue now expected between $23.65 billion and $23.7 billion. Digital media ending AR growth projected 11.3% year over year, and non-GAAP EPS targeted between $20.80 and $20.00.
These raised targets, especially that increased digital media ending ARR growth, they're a powerful reflection of the strong business momentum and the company's confidence in continued execution in this AI-first world. It speaks directly to their underlying product leadership and customer-centric innovation, shows their strategy is effective and delivering measurable results, translates into a very positive financial forecast.
So for you, the listener, this means Adobe expects to keep performing strongly, driven by these AI advancements. More innovation coming down the pipe.
Seems that way.
Okay, let's shift gears now. Explore some analyst perspectives and how Adobe is responding to the key questions being asked about this AI-driven future. This is always interesting. One analyst raised a fascinating point about the Adobe magic in seamlessly integrating all these diverse AI models, Google Gemini, OpenAI, others, into apps like Photoshop.
Where does the magic really come from?
Exactly. They wanted to understand what part was the external diffusion engine, the AI model generating the image, and what part was Adobe's own infrastructure, enabling that fine-grained control and manipulation.
Okay, so Adobe's response was pretty clear. The magic is clearly in our applications, through deep, sophisticated integration. They highlighted two key differentiators. First, choice. They're committed to making all third-party models available, giving users access to the best tool for the job, not locking them in.
The Switzerland approach again.
Right. Second, integrations. They blend the precision and control users expect from, say, Photoshop with these powerful generative AI capabilities, allowing seamless workflows from initial generation to detailed fine-tuning, all within the app.
Making it feel effortless, even though it's complex behind the scenes.
Exactly. They stress that building this unified, seamless interface is a completely non-trivial task, underscoring the huge engineering effort involved. So the core insight is Adobe isn't just bolting AI on, they're fundamentally re-engineering their core apps to be AI native. That's where the magic comes from.
Got it. Okay, another analyst brought up a broader concern about the competitive landscape, specifically the risk from large ad platforms like Google or Meta integrating these diffusion engines directly into their ad platforms.
Right. Could they siphon away Adobe's single-channel marketer customers? Or just become too dominant?
Yeah, that was the worry.
So Adobe's perspective was, well, nuanced. They acknowledged that, yes, some small and medium businesses might use those platforms for direct ad creation. That's a valid use case. However, they emphasized that larger companies, their core enterprise customers, they prioritize creating campaigns across multiple channels. They need meticulous attribution tracking, in-depth analysis. It's a much more complex need.
It's not just about making one ad graphic quickly.
Exactly. Adobe highlighted that the ad channels themselves are actually excited about Adobe making it seamless, citing Gen Studio for performance marketing supporting TikTok, Meta, Google, Amazon, suggesting that for complex complex enterprise needs, Adobe's integrated multi-channel orchestration approach remains highly differentiated and valued. It's about managing the whole ecosystem, not just creating within one silo.
Makes sense. Now, given that early achievement of the $250 million ARR target for AI-first products, analysts naturally wanted to know which specific products are driving this upside. Is it one standout or is it spread out?
Right, where's the heat coming from? Adobe's response was that the momentum is truly across all of them, indicating broad-based success, not reliance on just one or two things. They specifically mentioned Firefly services, the overarching Gen Studio solution, and Acrobat AI Assistant within the Acrobat offerings as key contributors.
So it's firing on multiple cylinders.
Seems so. And this reiterates their North Star goal to have AI infused in every dollar of revenue, which implies AI's impact is pervasive, fundamental, enhancing everything, not just a few specific products.
Okay. One of the more interesting discussions I thought revolved around this industry thesis that AI could be a headwind to seats in software.
The idea that you pay per task or per generation consumption instead of per user license seat.
Exactly. So the question became, can consumption revenue truly offset any potential pressure on seat revenue? Is it an and situation, or is there a shift happening that could impact their long-term model?
It's a critical question for the whole software industry, really. Adobe countered this thesis pretty directly, stating that the value of AI is going to be delivered through software and will be both delivered and monetized through integrated software solutions. For Creative Cloud, they see it as both a seat expansion as well as a marketing automation opportunity.
So more users and new types of usage.
That's how they see it. They're observing in the enterprise growth in both seat expansion, just more people needing access to these tools, and rapid adoption of automation solutions, which might be more consumption-based. It's not one or the other. It's both driving growth.
Okay. And they summarize their enterprise strategy with 4 building blocks.
Yeah, it was a neat summary. First, providing the best creative apps for campaigns, foundational. Second, enabling agile deployment across multiple channels, email, web, ads, etc., orchestration. Third, empowering enterprises to create a brand concierge or personalized brand experience via Firefly services. That's the AI-first automation piece. And fourth, enabling other employees in the enterprise with workflow tools and Express to tie it all together, democratization.
So it connects everything from the high-end creative pro to the marketer to the general business user.
Exactly. They emphasize it's truly an and situation, driving growth in both traditional seats and new automation consumption models, allowing for a broader customer base and deeper engagement overall.
Right. On the financial front, an analyst questioned why Adobe wasn't seeing any margin degradation. Their mid-40s margin profile is strong.
Especially with all the massive investments needed for AI computing power, model development.
Exactly. How are they maintaining such strong profitability?
Adobe clarified it's down to several key factors. First, rigorous prioritization. Clear focus on specific growth vectors, must-win zones, avoiding spreading resources too thin. Second, significant productivity in AI infrastructure. This was interesting. Think of it like optimizing their digital factories, the GPU processing centers.
Getting more bang for their compute buck.
Precisely. Efficient GPU training utilization, advanced algorithms for building models, keeping those expensive GPU fleets busy. And for inferencing, when the AI actually runs, constantly tuning algorithms, optimizing the cost per inference, balancing reserve versus on-demand compute. This focus on infrastructure productivity is key to scaling AI without killing margins.
Okay, that makes sense. It's operational excellence, basically.
It is. And third, driving internal productivity by adopting these same technologies internally to augment their own employees and boost efficiency.
Using their own tools to make themselves more efficient.
Exactly. So it's this combination, strategic focus, infrastructure optimization, and internal adoption that allows them to maintain strong margins and cash flow.
Got it. Now, regarding the vision for AEP agents, those AI assistants in the Experience platform, there was a request for a deeper explanation. How do they drive customer value, and how does Adobe capture that benefit? It sounds like a big shift from traditional software.
It does. Adobe described this as a massive transformation from the SaaS model to the agentic software model. They explain they build agents where they have core domain knowledge, like marketing analytics, journey orchestration, to democratize the use of our applications for more people.
Making complex tasks easier via conversation.
Right. And they also emphasized collaborating with third-party agent orchestrators, acknowledging enterprises will likely mix and match agents. The example they gave was audience or journey creation. Traditionally, that needs specialized data expertise, right? Often requires dedicated teams.
Definitely a bottleneck sometimes.
But now, with an audience agent or journey agent accessible through a conversational interface, marketers can directly query the data for targeting, segmenting audiences, planning journeys, making campaigns much faster and much more efficiently.
So the value is removing bottlenecks, empowering marketers directly.
That's the core value proposition. Faster, more agile operations. That's what customers pay for.
Okay. Finally, a crucial question came up about retention trends with increased AI adoption and the absolute importance of commercial safety for enterprises, especially around intellectual property.
Yeah, for a company like Adobe, where creators are making so much original content using AI, this is huge.
Absolutely.
Adobe stated there's a direct correlation between increased use of AI and retention. The more customers use AI features, the stickier they become.
That makes intuitive sense. They're getting more value.
Right. They also mentioned that shift in enterprise pricing. As creative ops teams bring in automation services, the model shifts from pure seat-based pricing to a value-based pricing. You pay for the value generated, the automation achieved. And the underpinning of that value proposition for enterprises, it hinges on three critical elements.
Okay, what are they?
First, the availability of commercially safe models. Absolutely crucial for enterprises worried about IP, ensuring their creations are protected. Second, the ability for enterprises to create customizations, developing custom AI models tailored to their specific brand needs, ensuring AI output fits their guidelines perfectly.
Tailoring the AI to their brand voice.
Exactly. And third, the integration of these custom models and their inference capabilities into the entire workflow. From the creative pro using Photoshop to the automated marketing stacks to democratizing content creation via Adobe Express, it all needs to work together seamlessly.
So commercial safety, customization, and deep integration.
Those are the pillars for enterprise trust and value, and Adobe confirmed they spend a lot of time discussing commercial safety with customers. It's foundational.
It absolutely have to be. Okay, so summing up then, Adobe's Q3 2025 really showcases powerful execution in this AI-first world. Success driven by product leadership, customer focus, and successful monetization of both AI-infused features and brand new AI-first solutions across creative, experience, and document workflows.
Yeah, the confidence in their future roadmap seems very strong, very clear.
And for you, our listeners, this likely means a continuous stream of innovative, efficient, integrated tools that are really redefining how we create, how we market, how we interact digitally.
The pace of change is certainly not slowing down.
Definitely not. So, as AI continues to redefine interaction from conversational interfaces to these agentic workflows we've discussed, maybe consider this. What new possibilities does this unlock for your work, your creativity, and your engagement in the digital world? Think about those tasks you find repetitive or challenging right now. Could an AI agent be your next assistant?
It's a fascinating thought to ponder.
It is. Thank you so much for tuning into the Quarterly Call. For more episodes, please remember to rate and follow our show. Until next time, stay curious and stay informed.